I'm not entirely sure how to enumerate why one gets more excited about using the older technology. There's something to it. They're not wrong about this. This is exciting.
And I know what it means if the Nazis have a bomb.
So this film was filmed completely in IMAX film, and we're going to show it in 1570 film, and that is roughly 11 miles of celluloid film.
You know, you talk to those cats and they're like, well, I just like the sound of a needle scratching wax. And you're like, okay, that makes no sense. But, you know, a lot of people who love film love the film grain. They love the warmth of it. They love to see a little, you know, chatter. They like to see the frame rate. And I get that. That's an important part of the experience. And lasers are great and they're perfect every time, but there's a little analog magic that's missing. So I totally get the attraction of like printing it out on film.
We hung on to our IMAX projectors, and you know, largely due to IMAX providing this to directors like Christopher Nolan, who really wants to show his masterpiece on film as it was intended. So we were able to do that, and we have print 27 of 31 here in Grand Rapids.
That's happening, isn't it?
The world will remember this day.
For comparison, if you want to talk about like frame size for an example, this is one single frame of 1570 IMAX film. So you'll notice that there's 15 perforations across the top here. So if you compare that to something that is a typical one frame, you can see that this is about 9 times the size. So this results in a picture that we typically screen movies with a resolution of 2 or 4K. And for this movie, you're going to see it in 18K resolution on a 70-foot wide by 52 feet high screen. So it's a spectacular presentation.
And the other thing about the IMAX format is it's almost square. And what filmmakers have been doing is, you know, you can use that to add effect. There'll be plenty of shots where it seems like it's letterboxed, and then to add effect, there'll be a scene change, and then it will expand to the whole screen, which makes the whole experience more immersive for the audience.
We are so thrilled to do this. We're honored that we happen to have the capability of doing this. And we actually still have our own projectionist, one left in our circuit that knows how to do this. IMAX has also provided us with 2 additional projectionists that have this historic knowledge. So we're thrilled to be able to put on a great show for West Michigan and for lots of people that are driving from long distances to come see it in this particular format.
So I used to work at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, and they had an IMAX Dome theater. And I was a tour guide there, but I knew the projectionist, and I worked in the theater from time to time, and as soon as one of them moved or left, I was like, me, I'm next. Like, it is a job I wanted the first time I saw an IMAX projector. There are jokes to be made here, but obviously it's like, it's a big projector, it's a big screen, it's the biggest light bulb in the world, you know, that kind of thing. But there's also so much gee whiz technology about it, and also there's something stylish. There's something stylish, you know, it's like, I love the laser projectors, but there's something cool about, well, or maybe it's just me because I've done it so long, but like when the projector's running, that 24 hertz sound is loud, it's abrasive, it's super comforting.
I think that you just can't get the kind of picture digitally recorded that you can with this format. And he's committed to giving the best presentation for this. And I believe that this is his masterpiece, so I think it's going to be a spectacular film.
And the world is not prepared.
8, 7, 6, 5.
You guys are in a unique position because it's this theater, it's the Dome, the Chrysler Dome, and then Indianapolis, like Chicago, doesn't have any film IMAX theaters anymore. Yeah, so you guys are you're kind of blessed with the number of extant IMAX film projectors you guys still have running.
It's really up to the projectionist. So we need a projectionist in the booth to start these shows and to thread the projector. So that's another thing. You know, we'll have projectionists here from very early in the morning on into the night to make sure that we can play these movies.
Even today, some of the digital projection technologies just cannot match the resolution of a film frame this large. So a 35 millimeter film frame, a typical one is like a postage stamp. Then there's 70 millimeter 5 perf, which is basically, well, it's, here, let me show you. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but can you see the frame lines on that? Yeah. Okay, so a 70 millimeter film, a 70 millimeter 5 perf film is basically a third of this frame. So we have 3 times as much resolution, and you know, this frame is almost the size of a postcard, or not a postcard, a playing card. And so there's just a ton of information there. Now some people say, oh, an IMAX film print is 12K resolution. It really depends, and it's hard to use that verbiage to describe film. So there's going to be color depth and contrast and granular detail that digital still can't touch.
This thing obviously takes up a lot of space in the room here. When something is shot digitally, what does that look like in comparison?
It's like a maybe a hard drive, or we get the content, we download the content online, ingest it into our TMS, our theater management system, and then that sends that file out to our projectors, kind of like a computer network. So this is very different that you can actually see the physical movie on the platter, which is awesome.
But there will also be film grade. And there will be, you know, maybe a little, you know, there'll be other artifacts of a film, of an analog film being projected that they're going to see on the screen. But again, that's part of the experience, and that warms the heart.
Are we saying there's a chance that when we push that button, we destroy the world?
Chances are near zero.
Near zero.
What do you want for theory alone?
0 would be nice.
Obviously, we have to load the film onto the platter. It comes in 3 big cans, and we had to splice it together. And then what'll happen is the end of the beginning of the movie is at the inside of the reel here. We'll take that film, thread it through the projector. It'll pass through, and then it'll come back and unload onto the next platter. And wind from the inside out so that it's all rewound. And once you start it, you can't really stop it. So there's no rewinding with this one. So we need flawless presentations every time, and we've got experts to do that.
It's not about the resolution of the projector. It's about that warmth. It's like, yeah, like again, to go to another music metaphor, it's like a tube amplifier versus, you know, a digital analog to digital converter type thing. Yeah, there's just some warmth there that warms the soul.
Our creative department has been just thrilled that we've been able to offer this. I know it's something that Universal really wanted us to do in IMAX, and we're proud that we have the capacity to do it here.
Weird Side of Town has the 35 millimeter print of The Wizard of Oz. People flock to it. And you know, when the second run theater decides to run it because it's somebody's birthday and it's a digital production, it's like, that's still attractive, but it's the art house film projected version that everyone gets excited about. I'm not entirely sure how to enumerate why one gets more excited about using the older technology, but there's something to it. They're not wrong about this. This is exciting.
4, 3,
Truman needs to know what's next.
2,
What's next?
1.
I'm not trying to make it a spiritual experience, I swear.